One thing we haven't mentioned is technology. They're wired so that we will know if somebody's trying to break through, and you may want to discuss that a little bit, General.
Sir, there could be some merit in not discussing that.
Okay? I like that. That was a great answer.
That is President Trump saying way too much about border security. And speaking of loose lips, according to the Washington Post, Trump's interaction with a foreign leader included a promise that was regarded as so troubling that it prompted an official in the U.S. intelligence community to file a formal whistleblower complaint with the Inspector General.
Who also said it was deeply troubling, and then the Justice Department squelched it. At that point, they're supposed to automatically get the information over to Congress and the oversight committees, but
we'll talk to the reporter
right
behind
now,
that
a cover-up.
Bombshell straight ahead. Good morning and welcome to Morning Joe. It is Thursday, September 19th. Along with Joe, Willie, and me, we have former Treasury official and Morning Joe economic analyst Steve Radner, journalist in residence at Georgetown University School of Foreign Service Elise Labott, and columnist and associate editor for the Washington Post David Ignatius. And there's just a little bit more of that border wall discussion.
But wait, there's more. You can fry an egg on it.
You can, really. It's that hot.
Yeah.
And it was kind of disturbing, almost, to hear him
Well, let's just hear a little more
sell
from
this wall.
President Trump speaking of the Southern California border yesterday, and you tell us what you think about your commander-in-chief.
So you have the rebar, you have the outer crust, and you have the inside is concrete, and it's hardened concrete, very powerful concrete. And again, the concrete's poured after it's up. They pour it through funnels, and a lot of technological advances have been made with concrete. So if you think you're going to cut it with a blowtorch, that doesn't work because you hit concrete. I said, fellas, how about doing a less expensive version? They said, well, this is the version that works. That's the Rolls-Royce version to protect you on top. How that stops, it's a anti-climb device. If you look at the steel on top, we actually built prototypes, and we have, I guess you could say, world-class mountain climbers. This wall can't be climbed. This is very, very hard. We got climbers. We had 20 mountain climbers. That's all they do. They love to climb mountains. They can have it. Me, I don't want to climb mountains. Plus, it's designed to absorb heat. So it's extremely hot. You can fry an egg on that wall. So if they're going to climb it, they're going to have to bring hoses and water, and we don't know where they're going to hook it up because there's not a lot of water out here. Nobody's going over the wall, but going over it is impossible. Is virtually impossible. I guess maybe one of the greatest pole vaulters in history can get over the low one, but it's going to be very painful when they land, right?
Honestly.
Oh, my God!
But it's also sick. Think about it. It's sick.
Let us just have our laugh right now.
No, I mean, the entire studio is in hysterics.
Willie.
And by the way, we're not even adding value here to the joke. It is him that is hysterical, and not in a good way. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a wet blanket, but that was ridiculous.
I think it's just the obvious nature of your comments that you keep repeating every day.
It's just incredible. You can fry an egg on it.
Unnecessary. So, Willie.
Yes, Joe.
Yeah.
I did not know until now that there actually was a Rolls-Royce of sheet metal. But this is the Rolls-Royce of sheet metal. Nor did I know that the President of the United States kept 20 mountain climbers who love climbing mountains. It's all they love to do. They climb mountains all the time. This is what they're the best in the world. Yeah. They live for climbing mountains. That he keeps 20 mountain climbers just on hand, just in case he wants to do anything. One other thing, and it is laborious.
This is pretty obvious too, but go ahead.
It's pretty laborious to bring out, but before Donald Trump was president of the United States, border crossings were at a half-century low. You would have to go back to Joe Scarborough playing t-ball with the Dorville Hawks.
Good squad.
They were good squad. Good squad. And I was about to tell you what I did at Dorville Hawks when I was 5 years old. You would have to go back 50 years to find a time when there were less border crossings before Donald Trump became president of the United States. And now with Iran, and now with this IG report, and now with economists and the Fed chair worried about a looming recession, with all the things going on across the world, you've got the President of the United States just doing a Ronco commercial for sheet metal down on the border.
Pole vaulters, mountain climbers, Rolls Royce of sheet metal. I mean, we're laughing not because it's funny, we're laughing because it's so absurd.
It's absurd.
The argument he's making, in fact, the wall that you saw stacked up behind him may amount to the total amount of wall that's actually been put up since he promised it would go up. And as Joe says, with everything going on, the fact that he's taking time, the President of the United States, and going down and still fanning this story that he started 4 years ago during the campaign, build that wall. He has to keep that story going. And when he keep it going for 4 years, you start talking about things like mountain climbers and pole vaulters to make the case for something that's not happening.
Well, David Ignatius, none of it's happened. That's certainly what Fox News reported even last month, that he hasn't built any walls. So now he's going down. And in the words of John Lennon, and nobody loves you when you're down and out, an appropriate title for the president right now, it's all showbiz. That's really all it is. It's all showbiz, because if you even talk to his first Secretary of Homeland Security, General Kelly, he said, physical structures, they're better investments we can make to keep people out of the country. You talk to Lindsey Graham, and you talk to John Cornyn back when Republicans actually had the power to fund the wall. They said, no, this is not a smart investment of money or time. There are a lot of smarter ways to keep our border secure and keep people out. And yet there he is, a display, all showbiz, for something that's not even going to be the most effective way to secure America.